We're going to talk about percent problems. First thing we have to talk about is converting a percent to a decimal and a decimal to percent. So this should be very easy. Percent means divide by 100. That's what it means. When I see per, you know per means divide. Cent means 100. So whenever I see the word percent or the percent sign, I'm going to know when I see a percent, every time I see the percent sign, it means divide by 100. So let's say I have 20%. We want to change it to a decimal. I see the percent sign. Percent means divide by 100. An easy way to divide by 100 is move the decimal 2 places, the number of zeros. So I have to know that every whole number has a decimal point at the end. I have to move it 2. So the only way you can get confused is which direction. Just think percent means divide. Division makes things smaller. Multiplication makes things bigger. So percent means divide by 100. I have to change 20 into a smaller number. If I would move to the right, I'd change 20 into 200. Can't be right. Percent means divide by 100. So I go 1, 2. I'm going to get the decimal 0.2. Let's say I have 400%. I see percent. Percent means divide by 100. Every whole number has a decimal at the end. I move my decimal 0.2. I'm going to get the whole number 4. Let's say I have a decimal percent. 4.5%. I have to change it to a decimal. This is a decimal percent. I want to change it to a regular decimal without a percent. Percent means divide by 100. So I got to move the decimal 2 to make it smaller. I got to go to the left. So I go 1. I have to move it 2. I'm going to have to put a 0. So it's 0.045. Let's say I have another decimal percent, 0.25%, 0.25%. Percent means divide by 100. So I got to take my decimal, I got to move it 2 to the left. There's nothing there, so I have to add 2 zeros. So it's 0.0025. Hopefully no big deal. Let's say I have to change decimal to percent. Let's say I have what you're used to, I guess, 0.35. And I got to change it to a percent. So I got to think. Percent means divide by 100. I don't see a percent sign anywhere. So I do not divide. Got to do the opposite, was multiply. No big deal. I got to move the decimal point 2 places. Divide makes things smaller. I don't see a percent sign, so I don't divide. I got to go to the right. So I get 35%. Let's say I have 0.6. I have to change it to a percent. I don't have a percent sign, so I don't divide. Then I got to do the opposite, which is multiply. Multiply by 100. I move this 1, 2. I got to move it 2. So it's 60%. Let's say I have 2.5. And I have to change that to a percent. Well, percent means divide by 100. I don't see a percent sign, so there's no way I divide. I got to multiply. So I go 1, 2. So I get 250%. We can definitely have over 100%, especially if we want to mark something up. All right, let's do another one, 0.05. I've got to change it to a percent. I don't see a percent sign. I got to multiply. I move it 2. I get 5%. Let's see. Let's do 0.7. I want to change it to a percent. I move it 2. 1, 2, 70%. The only one that maybe might throw you is if I have the whole number 2. No big deal. It's a whole number. I got to change it to a percent. I know there's a decimal at the end. I got to move it 2. So it's 200%. That's it.